Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason.
And I'm Max Mason. Here we are.
Here
Back
we
again.
are. Yes, another week and another adventure. And so, how was your week?
My week was good. So, for Christmas, Ezra got us some tours of the Shanghai tunnels or the Old Town tunnels, whatever they call it. They call them a couple different things, but these old underground tunnels in Portland that were initially designed to just, move food and things around, but were very much used for a lot of illicit activity.
Oh man.
But it was really cool. So we got there, we had our group. There's like 12, 13 of us there.
Yeah.
And the tour started, and it actually started above ground. They had recently purchased the second floor of the old hotel where all the tunnels were.
Oh,
so
cool.
we got to like go around some of the rooms, and there's like old ballroom that still had most of its original windows and stuff. And they told us the story of like their most popular ghost. Her name is Nina.
Nina, okay.
Yeah. Who was a prostitute,
Yeah.
got trafficked there. But she witnessed a lot of stuff and had an opportunity to like spill the beans with when some missionaries came through. But they didn't know any better, and they told the cops, and the cops had obviously been paid off by the, crime bosses there.
Yeah.
So they, murdered her by pushing them down one of the first elevator shafts in Portland.
Oh, wow. That's okay. That's exciting for her.
Yeah, but it was cool because the elevator was like permanently stopped on the second floor there where we were walking around, so we got to like be in the elevator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But then we actually got to go underground into the tunnels, and they were telling us how they would there would be seats at the bar that had trapdoors in them to like capture people that they could force into like indentured servitude.
Oh wow, that's kind of like have you ever seen Sweeney Todd?
No, but I know a little bit of it.
So it's not exactly the same, but in the play, when they do the play, his barber shop is on the second floor, and the barber chair, when he is made so he slits somebody's throat and he hits a lever and they slide out of the chair and down into the meat grinder.
Oh, jeez.
And then the story is it's a difficult time in England, and so they he finds out, they don't have a family, don't have anything. Slit their throat, throw them in there, and they make meat pies out of them and sell them to the people. So yeah.
Wow.
So similar
a little bit. It was kind of funny. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but when we first were starting, they were like, there's no bathroom breaks on the tour, so if you need to go before we start, the code is 2468. And it's like, okay, cool.
Okay.
And then a little while later, we'd gone through some of the tunnels, and we came back up to this like main level floor that used to be an old restaurant where they would have the trapdoors. And it was like the locals knew that you were supposed to sit at 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Those were the safe chairs.
Yeah.
And he didn't mention anything else.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to use the bathroom.
But it was really cool. I felt very tense through a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see anything. Might have maybe smelled something.
Okay.
They said that seeing Nina was actually a little rare, but a lot of people will smell her because she had like a lilac perfume.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't know exactly what lilac smells like, but I did kind of get a floral scent at one point.
Oh, wow.
So it could have been someone in the group, but everything felt pretty tense. And
that's amazing. That's an interesting experience.
It was really cool. There was one point where usually the guide would be in front of us. At one point we came to this little door, and he's like,
Okay.
it's like, thankfully you don't have to go through there. And then he pushed the door open. And he's like, after you.
Oh no.
And Chloe was the first one to go in the completely dark room by herself. So it was very brave.
Oh, good for. Okay. All right. Well, you should be proud of her, right?
Yeah. I didn't like it. I went in after her, but it was not
I don't
fun.
like it.
But it was good. They had like their speakeasy down on the bottom, and they did like a beer tasting. But then when you go up, you get another free drink at their bar. And we got Italian sodas that were really good.
Oh, that sounds good.
And they had some like good pizza slice, and that was nice.
Yeah.
Not like best thing ever, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, good for a tour.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But it was a cool place.
Yeah, that's neat. We haven't been we've been to places that are supposed to be haunted, and we've had some weird experiences. Nothing. We haven't put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah,
but it was weird because I don't know if you were with us. We went out to there's this section of road out on the east side of Columbia that was there. It was, I think there was a battle there, and this battalion got ambushed, and there was a big battle there.
Yeah. Is like east side kind of where like the military base is, or different east side?
East side kind of where the road keeps going down to Charleston.
Okay.
And it was right close to that, like just that road. And there's kind of the freeway kind of goes around Columbia.
Right.
So it's right there, which is, I don't know, 20 or something. It goes down to Charleston. I don't know. I don't think it's 20, but anyway,
one of those.
right. That there's the other highway comes into that. And so right in that junction, there's a little park and river a little bit. And it's over by there. So we went out there at night. It was it was gonna be it's like the blood wolf moon or something. Like it was it was like the super, like all these different kinds of moons all at once, because it was the second moon and a blood moon and a wolf. Anyway, but we went out and we had the digital recorder with us, and we were going to go out and record stuff. And it was really weird because like I have the digital recorder still, and I hardly ever use it, and so it just sits in my bag, and it's still fully charged for like years.
Really?
Like I won't touch it for a year, and it's still fully charged.
Wow.
And we went out there, and I went out there and tried to use it, and it was dead. Like we started recording, and then it died.
Whoa.
And had no battery.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, that's weird. Something happened, and then we're like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Because it started kind of being like, I don't know about this. And then we went to another, kind of drove around to get to another side, and it was just like, I think we're done tonight.
Yeah.
I think we're pushing our luck right now. So
you get too many warning signs.
Yeah, and so we gave up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's cool. I know. I was asking Chloe if she had ever had any kind of ghostly experiences, and she hasn't. She's not sure if anyone in her family has either. But I don't know. I'm still not like a huge believer in stuff like that, but I do think there's a lot of creepy places that feel bad to be in.
Yeah. And there may be other reasons why they're dangerous that may not be paranormal. Just they are. But I don't think a lot. So I think a lot of it is reading too much into what you've experienced in on like the ghost shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But when your mom and I went back to West Virginia to get your grandpa's truck, Suburban, that was too much of an experience to say that it never happens.
Yeah.
Because that we were the only two people in the 2-story house, and it felt crowded.
Yeah.
So, and we got messed with too. Like weird stuff happened.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that his family that it all passed and were buried in the graveyard that was like 20 feet away. We're all still hanging around going, hey, let's mess with these guys.
Right.
So that was and it wasn't scary and it wasn't malicious. It was just like, family giving family a hard time.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was really crowded. You felt like you had to say, excuse me, as you're going down the hall, like, sorry, I'm in your way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So it was weird. It was weird, but it wasn't scary. So that was interesting. That was an interesting experience. So.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
All
actually
right.
going to kind of set a good mood for what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Especially because, a big thing with the Shanghai tunnels was it was kind of used for like the opium trade.
Okay.
So that'll be important in a minute.
All right.
In a way.
Opium is important.
Yes.
All right.
But so I decided I was trying to think more about some of my more musical tendencies and where they kind of come from. And I think I also wanted to maybe prove that I know about old stuff too.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so I started looking back and kind of had to go back a long way. But what I'm going to be talking about, I kind of got my first exposure to it when I was in orchestra in South Carolina. And my orchestra teacher offered or told me about auditioning for the National Youth Orchestra.
Right.
At the time. And so they gave you like a bunch of excerpts you had to learn and then record yourself doing them. And I learned them, but I never really felt great about them and could never really get a good recording. So I didn't actually end up auditioning, but I won't say what it was. One of the other things I had to learn was a piece from the Pictures at the Exhibition, the Modest Mussorgsky piece.
Okay.
It was the Samuel Goldberg and Shmuley.
Okay.
Is what it's called. It's just really cool part. It's a lot of fun, just how it starts that movement. So I'd heard about this one piece, and then I heard about it again when I was in college in like a music history class. And while it was pretty like Western focused, it didn't cover like, a lot of music history, mostly like European music history.
Right.
There was a lot of really great info in it. And I feel like, I've only taken one class, but I feel like I really understand a lot of music history better, which I think is neat. What it's designed to do,
Right.
But, it covered stuff from like the medieval to Gregorian, Baroque, classical, romantic, all the way up to like serialism and like early electronic music.
Oh, neat.
Which was really cool. Like the musique concrète stuff was super cool. Because a lot of it wasn't like songs. It was just like, look at this noise we made with a computer, or kind of like. And it was in like the 40s or something, so it probably wasn't a computer, but
something electrical.
Yeah, these like digitally created sounds. And it'd be really cool because they'd have these concerts where it's just a stage full of speakers.
Oh,
so
even back then.
Even back then, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure it was the 40s. It might have even been earlier than that.
Well, so Fantasia came out in the 40s.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, theater going, that was in color, and big walls of sound were a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so that makes sense. But yeah, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of like, there's one piece, and I forget the exact name, but it's really cool. But it debuted at one of like the World's Fairs back in the day. And it also had a light show with it too, with these sounds. And we had to watch a little bit of it. It was really cool. But what I kind of want to focus on is a piece from the Romantic era.
Okay.
Which is came right after classical, but the like distinction timeline between the two is pretty muddy. So like on the classical side, you have like Haydn, Beethoven, composers like that. And a lot of the music is pretty like diatonic, pretty much in the key or the dominant key, so like a fifth away, pretty closely related keys.
Right.
And there's a lot of focus on development, where you just take a simple idea and stretch it out in all the ways that you could.
Okay.
So like Beethoven's Fifth, this is like bum 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 bum, and he just does everything he can with that amount of melody.
Yeah.
But when you get to the Romantic era, there is a lot more stuff going on. So I wrote down some of them. So there's a lot more focus on nature and mysticism, but also like the nocturnal and ghosts and more frightful things.
Right.
There's a lot of breaking of traditional structure. So the way a symphony would be set up kind of got broken down. And there's a lot more focus on melody. So a lot of pieces would have longer, more intricate melodies.
Oh, cool.
More chromaticism and a lot of frequent key changes, kind of moving away from like the simple related keys to just wherever they wanted to go. And they also had a lot bigger orchestras. They just had a lot more people on stage and a lot more dynamics. Like you get like the triple P or the triple F. So like really very, very quiet or very, very loud, when usually it'd be like very loud or very quiet at most.
Gotcha.
Which led to things like in college we played the planets.
Right.
And at the end of Mars, it has 4 Fs. So it's like very, very, very loud, which is just ridiculous, but it's great.
That's funny.
And it also had a lot more range of notes. So it'd have a lot higher highs and lower lows.
Gotcha.
And then the other big thing would be program music. So there'd be a lot more stories within the music.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So something like Pictures at the Exhibition, which isn't romantic. It's more like Impressionist era.
Okay.
Or like Holst, where it's like it's the planets and the Greek myths or Roman myths, which is pretty. I think there's the switch between the two. First would probably be Beethoven's Ninth, which is really great.
Right.
And very weird too. Like the first 3 movements are pretty basic, like pretty straightforward as far as the symphony goes. But like the 4th movement, it was really cool because I also had to learn it in college. At first, it starts with the same melody as the first movement, but then the basses and cellos come in and they're like, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We already did that, kind of moving on. And it's like, well, what about the melody from the second movement? That one was nice. And it's like, no, something else. I got to do something different.
Oh, yeah.
And so it has this like back and forth between like the strings and like they're fighting.
Yeah, like it's sneaking in and like, no, do this.
Yeah. And then that's when that Ode to Joy melody comes in. It's first in the basses, very quietly.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And Beethoven also had some program elements to his music, but it was pretty distant. So like with the Ode to Joy, it was just a poem. It wasn't even one that he wrote. And that's what a lot of program music was kind of before the Romantic era. It would mostly be like poetry or like Vivaldi with the Seasons.
Right.
Right. With that new focus on it, I think, to me, who kind of exemplified it best, this change between classical and romantic, was Hector Berlioz.
Oh, okay.
So he was French, and it's really fun. If you look up a photo of him, we have very similar hair.
Oh, no.
There's one photo, not all of them look like, but there's one photo that is like very similar.
Oh. Oh, there is one that's very. You should permit and do the little wave thing he did.
Yeah,
that's if you show up with that little kind of wave out thing, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I see the one you're talking about. It looks like it looks like the guy from Good Omens, the angel.
Oh yeah,
guy. It kind of looks like him, but with red hair. But it kind of has that he has his proper look.
Right.
to him. A very uptight look.
Yeah. Cool.
That you do not share.
No, not French
So
enough.
you're not uptight in it. Yeah. So
But yeah, so he started writing, kind of wrote songs and operas in like the 1820s. But then in 1830, he wrote his first symphony,
Okay.
which is called Symphonie Fantastique.
Okay.
And
Cool.
that's what I want to talk about, because it's
All
wild.
right.
It's crazy too, because trying to look up like what's kind of like accepted as like the first romantic symphony, and a lot of people jump to Brahms, which, I mean, he is romantic, but it's like 1860s.
Okay.
And
That's weird.
this was in 1830. This was 6 years after Beethoven's Ninth came out, which is
okay.
pretty wild because it's drastically different.
Yeah. I just, as a side thing, when you think about classical music, you place it, in my mind, I place it way back.
Yeah.
Right. But we were watching something about this this instrument. It's I think it's called a glass harmonica or something like that. And it's but it was invented by Benjamin Franklin.
Oh.
It's just a series of gradually larger crystal bowls.
Yeah, and they're wet and they
and they roll and they can play it.
Yeah.
But then it said that Beethoven wrote a song for that. And I was like, but Beethoven's older than, no, they're contemporary.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and I think, and I know that in the old, when I was thinking back, like, okay, all classical music was the 1600s or something, something dumb like that. Yeah. And the United States is newer than classical music. And, so, but it's funny when you don't realize, because they were so far fancy castles, estates, and that's where you see them portrayed. And then the United States were fighting the Revolutionary War, and but it's the same time. So
right,
and 1830 is not, is well within a very developed U.S. period of the country's. I mean, the country is coming up on almost 60 years old at that time. You're like, okay, well, that's weird. So anyway, I was thinking about that because we just seen this thing, and I was like, wait, how can he have written that if Benjamin Franklin invented it? He's way older. Oh no, he's not.
Not really.
No. So
yeah,
it was fun. It's fun.
Cool. So a couple of things about how it is different from classical music. Because it really, the list that I went over, it is all that. It exemplifies that very well. But a few that I want to focus on was first the program music. And like I said, it's not a new idea, but Berlioz was kind of the first one to write a whole story, a whole original story to go with the symphony.
Yeah.
Which is all about this romantic obsession, kind of autobiographical. Because he had this obsession with a woman named Harriet Smithson, who was a Shakespeare actor that he just fell in love with immediately.
Wow. Okay.
And so it's kind of about his obsession with her that leads to him trying to overdose on opium, but ends up having these visions of like witnessing his own death at the guillotine, and then seeing this like satanic dance and witches' Sabbath, and just kind of going crazy from that.
Weird.
So very weird, very like dark kind of for the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wholly original for the symphony. Yeah. It was funny when I told Chloe the name. And he's like, so he named his first symphony Fantastic Symphony.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Which maybe, but I think it might mean more like fantastical, like fantasy, more than fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. I actually didn't look it up.
Oh, wow.
The other thing, which was interesting, is what he called in this symphony the idée fixe,
Okay.
which is a French psychology term that is a preoccupation of mind believed to be firmly resistant to any attempt to modify it.
Okay.
So he wrote this big long melody to represent this woman, that would come in and kind of represent her, and also his like obsession with her.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try my best to play it real quick.
Oh,
That's
fun. Yeah.
I've been practicing, but I might play it a little wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet. No, just kidding.
So
Yeah.
so that's kind of the melody. It goes a little bit longer than that, but that felt like a good stopping point.
Okay.
But it's good to have that in mind as you are listening to it, because it does come up. It comes up throughout the whole symphony, and I think it's kind of a precursor to things like leitmotifs that are pretty common, usually a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
I was reading more about them, and Wagner used them a ton, especially in like the Ring Cycle opera, which is a crazy opera.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's never ends, right?
Yeah, it's like 15 hours.
Yeah. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of hard to appreciate because he was so violently anti-Semitic, but he was also just that good. You know?
Yeah.
And he knew he was, and was kind of a jerk about it, but he was good.
That's the same as D.W. Griffiths, who was a early filmmaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did a movie called Birth of a Nation. It's a black and white silent film that's 4 hours long. That is basically the birth of the nation is lots of scenes of the Klan.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty extremely Southern Klan forward, period piece for the Revolutionary War and stuff like. I mean, the
Civil War,
the war of Northern aggression, as he would have put it. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to. You're brilliant because you did these epic things in a period when the film was new, but you're horrible,
right?
And then he did. There's a lot of backlash, and so he did one called like Redemption or something. It's so bad. You're not that cool. Intolerance. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So he got crap for Birth of a Nation, and then he wrote the movie, and he did the film Intolerance, which was a big wine fest about it's intercuts between 4 separate stories about man's inhumanity to man. I'm like, dude, you're the
you're the worst.
Yeah, you're the worst. You're not that cool. So anyway, it's it's an interesting time for that. It's that the difficulties of who people are and how brilliant they are. Sometimes the more brilliant ones are also the more awful ones, which is sad.
Yeah.
So
sad. Anyways, but this is really brilliant how he uses this big long, obsessive melody in really interesting ways too. And 2 last things is it's has a very large orchestration, so like 100 players.
Oh wow,
minimum usually.
Yeah,
has like 2 harp players and 4 timpani players. Like just crazy things.
Just lots of sound.
Yeah. which led to things like Mahler, who would have like 150 to 200 people
Yeah.
for his symphonies, which his are crazy too. And then it's also kind of breaking the norm of symphonies. They usually have 4 movements. This one has 5.
Okay.
Which also, I think Beethoven's third
Okay.
or sixth, one of those also has 5 movements. So it's not crazy, but it's pretty uncommon.
Yeah. Just enough to add to the uniqueness.
Yeah. But yeah, also it's a weird symphony too. Even for the time, like the rhythms and his harmonies were pretty unheard of, and how he used them. I watched this video from this guy who kind of does classic radio talk show or talk radio thing. And he was answering questions like, why is this symphony so hard to play right? And his whole thing was like, it's weird, and you gotta be weird to play it. Like, you have to understand the weirdness, because it's a crazy story written by kind of a crazy guy.
Yeah.
I looked up some of his musical history, and it almost feels a little bit like outsider music.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he was from like I think his dad was a doctor, was supposed to follow in that footstep, chose to be a musician, tried to go to some academy to learn, classical orchestration, but he had different ideas, and they didn't want him to do those ideas, so he dropped out and just kept doing it on his own.
Don't you think it's interesting how those things kind of happen, where something, by breaking the mold, you're making something kind of spectacular?
Yeah.
You're just reminding me of a bunch of stuff we've seen recently, but one of them is it's one of those things that goes by. It's like 15 things you didn't know about Better Off Dead, or of some movies. So what we were watching was Better Off Dead, which I don't know if you've seen that, but
I don't think I have.
It's absolutely not. Well, you should see it because, well, I'll tell you, but this guy had done this little short film that was supposed to be this sad film about him being dumped by a girl, and it was at some film festival, and Henry Winkler saw it, the Fonz, and laughed and thought, this is a brilliant dark comedy. And the guy's like, no, it's supposed to be this. He goes, no, listen to me. Sad stories make great films. Got any more sad stories? And he gave him an office. So anyway, the guy started writing, and so he made this movie. It was his first directing, and they're talking about what makes this so great is it feels like he's putting everything into it because this is the only chance he's going to get. But also he broke molds. Like, he has the star, but he also cast it's full of scene stealers, like on purpose. He cast people that stole scenes in other movies in this movie to steal scenes. and it's brilliant, but it also, he has this like dream sequence where because he's working in this burger shop, and he makes this burger and does like a Frankenstein thing, and it comes to life, and it's claymation, and it's Everybody Wants Some. But Van Halen. And so the burger's playing Eddie's guitar, and they do this whole music video in claymation in the middle of the film for his dream sequence. So it has dream sequences in claymation. It has animation because he draws cartoons, the kid, and it will animate them, and it has all the side characters are just as important as the main character, and and then these over the top stuff, and then there's just it's pretty brilliant, and it's a really hilarious film that we used to watch constantly. It's one of those ones that came out on video. I've seen it 20 times. It's great. Nice. And so anyway, we'll have to watch that. So.
Yeah.
So, but
I think I remember hearing something that the the guy who wrote the Godfather book also wrote the screenplay for the movie,
oh yeah,
even though he'd never written a screenplay.
yeah,
And then when it came time to do The Godfather 2, he was like, okay, I should learn how to actually write a screenplay.
yeah.
And he got a book, and it was just like, so first you should study The Godfather.
Yeah. Oh well. Put that. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's well, yeah, and that's a brilliant one too. So
Yeah.
anyway, well,
Um,
well, cool. Yeah, I think it's we keep talking about breaking molds and doing it, and so it's neat that this is do it your way, do it his way. Had different ideas.
Yeah.
Don't accept the standard. So
yeah. But yeah, it's just great. It's great music.
yeah.
Doing the studying for this, I had the score up, and I was reminded of like in high school how I would always have the iPad
Yeah.
that I got from school, and I'd be watching scores in my room all the
time. That's funny.
time.
It's that's one of Ezra's friends was Aaron Hindle.
Oh yeah.
Like he goes, I want to write music for movies. I was like, oh, do you like so you like music? He goes, I like soundtracks. Like because he wouldn't buy the songs from the movie. He'd listen to just the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like that's all he wanted to hear. He doesn't want to hear all the hit songs from the movies or any vocals. It's just I just want the music,
the instrumental.
Yeah, instrumental. That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
It's got the weird obsession like you. It's like I'm fascinated by music scores.
Yeah. They're cool.
Yeah.
There's some funny things in here that I think I wrote down, so it'll be fun to read them.
Yeah.
But let's go. I'll read the program notes for each movement too.
All right.
So this is movement 1, which is daydreams and passions.
Okay.
So it says, the author imagines that a young musician afflicted with that emotional affliction, which a famous writer calls the vague de passions, French.
Okay.
Sees for the first time a woman who unites all the charms of the ideal being of which his imagination dreamed, and he becomes madly in love with her. By singular oddity, the cherished image never presents itself to the artist's mind except in connection with a musical idea in which he finds a certain passionate but noble and timid character like that which he attributes to the beloved object. This melodic affliction and its model pursue him incessantly like a double idée fixe. That is the reason for the constant appearance in all the movements of the symphony of the melody that begins the first allegro, the passage from this state of melancholic reverie, interrupted by a few fits of unprovoked joy, to that of a delirious passion, with its movements of fury, jealousy, returns of tenderness, tears, and religious constellations, is the subject of the first movement.
Oh, okay.
So this big long thing, this big long story, handed out to people as they go and see it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool.
So you're supposed to, read it at the beginning of each movement, and you get the idea of it.
The idea, yeah.
So it does start. It starts with pretty soft melodic chords, just lots of moments of pause with some like kind of what you would expect from a classical symphony.
Right.
But then there's all these like weird motions in like the cello and bass that kind of keep it pushing along, keep a lot of the momentum going.
Okay.
He also has this thing of doing a lot of these runs that are pretty common, but they're stuttered in a weird way. So instead of going like ba-da-do-do-do-do-do, he goes ba-da-do-do-do-do-do-do. Like the notes change on the wrong beats.
Oh, interesting.
And they're like doubled as they change.
Sounds like it makes it sound like it's the way you did it makes it sound like it's like screwing into place, like it's twisting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And also like as things are going, there's not a lot of things that hit on one. Everything kind of is more offbeat.
Oh.
Which is fun. It kind of plays with like the mysterious quality of it at the beginning.
Right.
But then things kind of speed up. There's a little more instrumentation, and then the idée fixe is presented in the violins with kind of its traditional, not traditional, but like original harmony and accompaniment with it. And it's very pretty. It's a pretty melody, and it's done very well with all the other instrumentation. But then there's these really great runs in the strings that sound quartal almost, and which
okay.
So a lot of our music in the West, any music you listen to, is based on thirds, like stacking thirds.
Right.
That's pretty much all the music. But it's a little more common in jazz, and it showed up a lot in like impressionist music, is building harmony by fourths, which gives you a really weird kind of otherworldly sound because we just don't use harmony like that.
Okay.
But he does it here, and it sounds really, really cool, but it also sounds a little out of nowhere and interesting. There's a lot of tempo changes, like very specific tempo changes all throughout this thing. There's a bit of like, there's this really cool staccato chromatic bit in the strings, like
right.
And with a little bit of like random accents in the winds. It kind of reminds me like the end of that Bach cello piece, that very famous like bum ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
There's like that chromatic part right before the very end. It almost sounds exactly like that.
Oh wow.
But with a whole orchestra. And then there's silent. It just hits this big note, and there's silence for like 4 bars.
Oh.
Which is very weird for a symphony.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like he's waking up from a dream at this point. Like he's had this obsession kind of implant itself in his mind, and now he's kind of waking up, maybe still a little dazed because it's still sounding a little mystical at this point.
Okay.
But there's a building and energy, and there's just it's a really fun part, and I hope I'm not the only one hearing this. But when there's like this full orchestra, the horns come in, and it almost sounds like mariachi music in a way.
Neat.
It's like these ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da parts.
That must have been really interesting to hear the things like you watch a James Bond movie because you know how it's going to go, or you watch a Hallmark film because you know what's going to happen. And that's what they were doing with classical music. Like you have an expectation that you'll be able to hook into something that goes this way, and to have these new rhythms and new expressions must have been fairly exciting to experience.
Yeah. It was really cool. It's a really fun horns because when they first come in, it's like it sounds like it's nice. It's a cool melody, but then he throws it off beat, and that's when it gives it that kind of mariachi feel.
Does it sound, because I haven't heard this one, that I know of, but does it sound newer than you'd think it is? Like, would you hear it and think it sounds more modern than it is?
I think it still has, it would still feel like classical music.
Okay.
To anyone who wasn't very aware of classical music.
Okay.
So but it does sound.
It doesn't sound like Aaron Copland. It sounds still.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. But in some ways it does. Okay. And I'm sure there's things that Aaron Copland took from this.
Yeah. Well, sure.
Because everyone takes from everybody.
Yeah.
But it does sound different from classical music.
Okay.
Noticeably different enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has that. There's this finale, and things kind of drop in dynamics. They get a little softer. That idée fixe is kind of there again, floating in the background. And then you get this really cool chord. So it's a minor 4 going to the 1, which I want to say is a modern sound, but I mean, it's 1830 when this came out.
Yeah.
But it's something that sounds very modern today. Like Creep.
Yeah.
Goes from a minor 4 to the 1 when it cycles through.
Oh, okay.
So, which is not, at least at the time, I don't think was very common. Because a lot of things they would end with like the 5-1, the bump, 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 that kind of sound. But this movement ends with more like a 4-1, which is a lot calmer and maybe a little more hopeful.
Okay.
But also kind of, it feels a lot sweeter too, but not as like final,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's a great sound. I much prefer it to a 5-1 than anything else. 4-1s are great.
Yeah. Cool.
If that makes sense. When I'm saying 4, I'm talking like the chord of the scale. So a 1 would be the like a C chord.
Okay.
In C major.
Okay.
But a 5 chord would be a G in C major.
Okay.
So it's like the 5th note of the scale and the chord that's built on that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is an F. It's the 4th note of the scale, the chord built on that. I don't think I say that too much more. Try not to use a lot of chord talk.
That's fascinating. So please feel free.
Yeah. But yeah, it keeps it very calm for this like first movement. That was very exciting. Really grabs your attention. But then ends very softly. And then we go to the second movement, which is a ball.
Okay.
So it says the artist is placed in the most divisive circumstance of life, in the midst of the tumult of a festival, in the peaceful contemplation of the beauties of nature, but everywhere in the city and the fields, the cherished image comes to present itself to him and stirs up trouble in his soul. So this one is a waltz.
Okay.
This straightforward, but also kind of an interesting waltz in how he orchestrates it. It does start with a pretty mysterious opening too, like he likes to do.
Yeah.
Has these like low chords in the violins, and this motion in the bass is kind of moving upwards that is then answered in the harps.
Oh, wow.
So like the basses will go up and then the harps will go up after it, kind of, passing this motion around. And you get to the waltz, and it's a great waltz. It's a very pretty waltz. It's interesting too because there's slides in the melody. It's not just a descending scale. It actually it's very uncommon. Most people would probably just have you play the notes going down, but he just has you slide. So you get all these like micro notes that kind of aren't real, but
Oh, weird.
But it's great. So you have that like bum bump of a waltz, but he passes it around in a weird way. So it's the bass doing the bum, and then the like bum bump bump. It's bass harp wins. It's like bass harp wind, bass harp wind.
Oh, wow. That's got to be interesting to play.
Really fun. And it's got to be hard for the musicians too, because you got to really know when your part is
right,
being kind of split up like that.
Weird.
And then the idée fixe comes in kind of as the waltz is happening. It feels like the waltz is trying to bury it, but he's not getting any sort of distraction from her. Like this dance and this ball isn't helping him forget his issues.
Okay.
There's a little more. So
it was. You keep saying idée fixe.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
That's that big long melody.
So
that I played. It's like a psychology term.
Okay.
That he kind of uses as just like a representation of the girl.
So that's something kind of like Sanson in the Carnival des Animals, where different tunes represent the different animals. So this is the musical idea that represents her. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay. So that's where that would be different in the this period, because it is really forcing a narrative. Well, not forcing, but it is bringing a narrative into the music that isn't represented in words or somebody singing it. You follow it because it's a different tune or a familiar tune.
Yeah.
So wow.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. There's a really great video of Leonard Bernstein talking about it, which of course he's gonna be great about it.
Yeah.
But
he might know a little.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good to just, I think, listen either to that, what I played, or Leonard Bernstein talk about it, because you just kind of hold this melody in your head, and when it comes up, you kind of feel like you're getting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a little more development. There's just another big pause, which I guess he really likes pauses in the middle of his movements. But it also kind of lets the momentum reset a bit.
Yeah.
So he's not like just trying to coast off all this energy he's building.
Is it the same length of a pause? Is it a
This one's a little shorter.
Okay.
It's marked as a grand pause, but it's only a bar. But I think it's up to the conductor how long they want that to be. When in the other one, it was 4 solid bars of just silence.
Interesting. That's a very could be considered a very dramatic tool.
Yeah.
So okay.
So yeah, it's pretty calm after this. It kind of feels like maybe he found a quiet corner to kind of be alone with his thoughts.
Okay.
But this melody persists, and at this point, it starts building really, really fast.
Okay.
And to me, it almost feels like it's all the rest of the movement in reverse, all coming at you very quick. So it sounds like he is running out of the ball.
Okay.
Like he found this quiet corner, can't get away from it, and is just bolting out of there.
Right.
And it's great. It feels like it speeds up too. Like it's fast, but it also feels like it speeds up more than it is just fast.
Oh yeah.
And he's out the door and he's done, and you get that very classic 5-1, like bum bum, and it's done.
Yeah.
So a pretty quick movement. It's a waltz, and waltzes are fast and fun like that, but really good. Now the next movement, in that video of the guy who was talking about why it's hard to play this right. He said this is the one where most people mess up, because it's a slow piece, but there's a lot of energy to it and a lot of motion that you need to keep it going. Otherwise it just falls apart.
Okay.
He's like, it should really be like 15 to 16 minutes. If it's more than that, you're doing it wrong.
That sounds like I'm always I keep bringing it up just because it's one of the bands that just fascinates me is Death Cab because they're you think you're listening to a slow song, but there's so much energy in a slow song, and that's kind of sounds like what you're describing here is like, how is that happening? Because it makes how am I energized by this very slow development? And, but something about how the tension is held really creates a lot of energy, and it's you're like this is the musical equivalent of plate tectonics,
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I think this is also, I mean, the first 2 movements are probably the closest you'd get to a classical piece in this. I think this is where things kind of go full romantic, even a little like impressionist at some point, but we'll go.
Okay.
And I need to not read the end because it'll give it away.
Okay. All right.
So movement 3 is a scene in the country.
Okay.
So one evening, finding himself in the country, he hears 2 shepherds playing a ronde de vache, which is like a work song from the Alps.
Okay.
A ronde de vache on their pipes. This pastoral duet, the scenery, the slight rustling of the trees, gently stirred by the wind, some hopes that he has lately found reason to conceive, all conspire to restore to his heart an unaccustomed calm, to give to his ideas a more cheerful color. He reflects on his isolation. He hopes his loneliness will soon be over, but what if she betrays him? The mix of fear and hope, these ideas of happiness disturbed by some dark foreboding, form the subject of the adagio.
Oh, wow.
And there's a little bit more, but I'm going to get to it later because it's great.
Okay.
And so that's how it starts. It's also weird because the way he depicts these like workers in the Alps is by having this melody that's played between I think it's an English horn and an oboe, but the oboe is off stage.
Oh, weird.
Kind of off to the side, so it has this distance to it. And again, it's much slower. I read something that he stole the melody from the beginning of the scene from an unfinished work of his own, which he kind of had a hard time premiering this symphony,
right?
Because it was so weird, and he also didn't have it done a lot of the time. So he would just like cobbled together ideas from other things he's working on to get it finished.
That's wild.
Until he could actually get a real premiere when it was more what it is now.
Cool.
But it's really, there's like these really lush, grand chords. They kind of feel majestic, like a mountain, out in the Alps somewhere. But there's a lot of sadness to it too, and I think it really pulls at your emotion, going between this like majestic sound of being in nature, but his own kind of internal sadness.
Right.
And it flops between that a lot. I think you start to really kind of feel bad for the guy, and there's this really great like in your face bass part where I think he's like fighting more against this incessant idea, this idée fixe that is trying to come back, and he's trying to fight it and act like it's not bothering him with this like bass melody. But it very much is.
Oh.
As much as he's trying to fight it, that melody is persisting and it's staying there. And it feels like he's almost shouting. There's a few like really big hits that feel like shouts.
Okay.
And there's this moment of peace. You get these, I wouldn't have known that there was this going on in the violins, this like pizzicato, because it's so quiet. You almost can't hear it on any of the recordings. And I wouldn't have known it was happening if I wasn't looking at the score and seeing that there's notes there.
Right.
And it seems like maybe he forgets for a moment. Maybe he finds, like, like the story says, like he finds maybe a bit of calm, but it comes back and starts nagging at him. Like there's these like kind of nagging bird calls.
Okay.
That get passed around the orchestra that feels like it's just getting buried into his soul. It starts really high up and then goes to like lower range instruments all the way down to bass instruments. Like it's just burying itself in him. And then this is where you get the really cool part. And I'll read the rest of the program. It says, at the end, one of the shepherds resumes the rendezvous. The other no longer responds. Distant sound of thunder, solitude, silence. So the way they do this is this duet between the English horn and timpanis.
Okay.
And that's it. So they kind of play that melody in the beginning, and then there's like 4 timpani players doing these thunder rolls throughout it as like a response to what the horn is doing.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, 4 timpani players. They're like doing timpani chords, which is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you do that? But it sounds very thunderous, and you feel like maybe he's just kind of collapsed in this field while this rancher is playing a song and there's thunder in the distance.
Oh, weird. Wow.
And then there's a little bit of strings just to kind of end it, but it's pretty quiet. It's pretty much just that timpani and horn duet, which is a wild kind of duet to have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Interesting.
And this is where we get to the last 2 movements are the very popular ones.
Okay.
And they're huge. They're awesome. I saw something that there was a recording of the Symphonie Fantastique with the Utah Symphony.
Okay.
And it came with 2 copies of the last 2 movements because they assumed that's what you'd be playing more. And it's like, if you wear out the first one, you have another one.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So, movement 4 is March to the Scaffold.
Okay.
Having grown sure that his love is unappreciated, the artist poisons himself with opium. The dose of the narcotic, too small to kill him, plunges him into a sleep accompanied by the most horrible visions. He dreams that he has killed the one he loved, that he is condemned, that he is being led to execution, and that he is witnessing his own guillotining.
Oh, wow.
The procession advances to the sound of a march, sometimes dark and fierce, sometimes brilliant and solemn, in which a muffled sound of heavy footsteps follows without transition. Without transition, the loudest outburst.
Yeah.
At the end of the march, the final 4 bars of the idée fixe, or the first 4 bars of the idée fixe reappears like the last thought of love interrupted by the fatal blow.
Cool.
So it is a march. He claims to have written this in one night. I don't know about that, but it's crazy.
Okay. All right.
It is this march, and this is a section that I learned for the youth orchestra audition.
Okay.
It kind of has a little bit of an introduction, and then there's this big hit, like like the Stravinsky Firebird chord.
Yes. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
it's all quiet, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Thump."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that. It kind of has one of those. So I bet this is kind of where Stravinsky got that idea.
Yeah. Okay. I can imagine.
And it's this really great melody. It's again, it hits, and then it's just in the bass and cello. It's pretty much just a G minor scale going down, a little bit of a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
But it feels very sinister. It's because it's not weird or out of key, anything. It's just very like overbearing and feels very sinister in a way.
Yeah.
But then it develops, and it almost becomes like a fugue where it's these
Right.
other ideas developing and then being passed around, and then you take that idea that was just played and do it in a different way. Fugues are crazy. I don't understand how. I think there was a story, I think the music history teacher was saying that like Bach could improvise fugues like nothing.
Right.
And that somebody was challenging him. That was like, okay, do a 3-part fugue. And he did it. And he did a 4, and he's like, okay, do a 4-part. And he did it. And then the guy was like, now do a 5-part. And he like struggled with it. But then he's like, now do a 6-part. And he could do a 6-part.
Oh, okay.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Like a 5-part fugue couldn't quite figure it out, but a 6-part he could do.
That speaks to it being an odd thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But yeah, it's going on. There's these like very mocking horns as you're having this march. They're kind of making fun of this guy going to the guillotine. Super farty trombones and everything. And it seems like a really tricky part because there's nowhere for anyone to latch on. There's instruments doing triplets while other ones are doing 16th notes, which is a weird kind of mix of rhythms. And you get that main melody again with like the full orchestra with cymbals and bass drums. You just really feel a lot of misery, and it feels really grotesque and just dark. And then as that's going on, he reverses the melody in a weird new key just out of nowhere. It starts going up the other way. Just more mocking as this guy is being put in the stocks. And it's really funny because in the score, it has a note in the score that's like, there's not a mistake in the score. It does go from a G minor chord in the strings to a D flat major in the winds.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a mistake. Don't let your violinist change the notes.
Those dang violinists.
Yeah. Which that's about as far away from each other as you can be. A G minor chord and D flat. That's a tritone. Yeah. Which has, has a lot of context to that, how evil sounding that is.
Yeah.
And from a minor to a major chord, it's just as far as you can be, basically.
Oh, that's have you watched the Bob's Burger yet about the symphony that he's trying to get played a different way than everybody plays it?
No, I know you told me about it, but
because this is feeding right into it because this has what that doesn't have, which is notes.
Yeah.
That say, no, that's not a mistake. No, it's supposed to be this way. That's hilarious because that's what the whole confrontation in the story is about, is that no, he didn't mean it to be this way, but he did, but he didn't, but he did. Yeah. So that's so funny. Yeah, put it in the liner notes that it's supposed to be this way.
Right. Yeah. So he gets his head in the guillotine. After everything drops out, you hear the Ide fix way in the distance, very quietly.
Okay.
And then you get this huge chop with all the cymbals and bass drums as he gets his head cut off. Oh. It's also really funny because his head cuts off, and then there's like little plucks in the strings as it's his head bouncing off.
And tell your violinist to get this right.
Yeah. And then it has this like really loud, triumphant ending that sounds like the crowd is just like super excited that they got to kill this guy.
Oh, wow.
It's gross and weird and really fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. That's weird.
It's a great movement, and you'll
Yeah.
understand why people love it so much.
Yeah. It's got a lot to it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then we get to the final movement, movement 5, which is Dream of a Night of the Sabbath, or the Witch's Sabbath.
Oh, interesting.
So the notes say he sees himself at the Sabbath in the middle of a horrible troop of ghosts, sorcerers, and monsters of all kinds gathering together for his funeral. Strange noises, moans, bursts of laughter, distant cries to which other cries seem to respond. The beloved melody reappears again, but has lost its character of nobility and timidity.
Timidity.
It is no more than a dance tune, ignoble, trivial, and grotesque. It is she who is coming to the Sabbath, roars of joy as she arrives. She joins in the diabolical orgy. Funeral kneel? Knell? Kneel?
Funereal knell. So
Knell.
that's like a death march, maybe.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
That burlesque parody of the Dies Irae, witches round dance the round and the Dies Irae together.
Okay.
So yeah, you get that Witch's Sabbath, very ominous and muddy sounding. Lots of very diminished chords, which are like super minor chords.
Okay.
Like minor chords that are extra minor. And yeah, you get the Ide fix coming in, but it has all these like grace notes and trills that sounds like, hey, this is the melody. This is like this woman that you love. You're just like, she's awful and just a complete joke to us. And
oh no.
And they're like pulling him down into this like very vulgar dance. You almost get a little bit of that Ide fix in the cello and basses.
Right.
But it's a lot more mushy and desperate. You know?
Yeah.
And then you get church bells, which is the first time you're hearing it. You get these bells, and you get little fragments of melodies, kind of hints at what the Witch's Sabbath melody is, but it's more focusing on these church bells. And then you get the Dies Irae in the brass. That's a very famous, the bum 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 bum.
Oh, okay. That sounds yeah.
It's an old melody. I don't remember exactly when it was written. Let's see if I can find it real quick.
It was an oldie with
1200s.
Oh, okay.
Very old melody. But this version, how it appears in Symphonie Fantastique, was used as the beginning of The Shining when they're going up the mountain.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's a nice, interesting connection.
Yeah. So you get it in the brass, and then it kind of goes double speed in the horns.
Okay.
But it will bounce back and forth between being a slower version and a faster version of it.
Oh.
All while these bells are still ringing, that feel kind of separate from everything else that's going on.
Interesting.
And this develops in this like totally demented, dark version of it. And you get these like, in the brass, into the bass, into the drum, again, just passing around these melodies that turns into the Witch's round dance, as it calls it, was hinted at earlier.
Yeah.
And there's this big build of tension as the strings and the winds it goes off beat in the score, but the way you're hearing it, it doesn't feel like that right away.
Okay.
And then there's these like laughing, very like garish trumpets that they're on beat, but they feel off beat because you've been off the whole time. The trumpets that are on feel like they're not.
Right.
And yeah, like it says in the score, the Dies Irae and the Witch's Round Dance are being played together at the same time, just kind of cascading over each other.
Right.
And then there's this great part in the strings where they go it's called con legno, which is they play with the back of the bow with the wood on the strings.
Okay. All right. All right.
So it gives us like very brittle, creepy sound while the winds are doing like these crazy runs all over the place. It's just a big mess of stuff.
Oh,
It's so cool. It feels like there's a point where like there's these bass drum rolls
okay.
along with the Dies Irae melody. It feels
Yeah.
like it comes out of like thunder, out of darkness. This melody kind of like
Oh,
vroom.
cool.
It's so cool. It's such a wild sound, and just kind of ends up beating you over the head with all these all
Right.
this stuff going on. And you get this huge final chord, so loud, just as loud as it can be. And that's the end.
Just boom, drops
Yeah,
it. Is
just
it is
drops
it
it.
a, is it a proverbial mic drop at the end?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
But yeah, it's a great piece. Such a
Yeah,
crazy piece.
yeah.
Um,
Sounds
especially
like
considering like what came just before it.
right.
There's really nothing else like it. At the
Gotcha.
time.
Well, that sounds really great. I have to download some music for my next trip, so I think this is going to be well, it'll definitely be on the list, so
Yeah,
I can
it'll kill an hour of time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, then I got to pair it with Wagner so I can because
Yeah,
I I need to fill like 15 hours of flight. So
right.
so oh my
It's great.
goodness. Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah. But it was great. At the premiere of the symphony, it was like December of
Okay.
1830.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really big names at the premiere. Victor Hugo was there.
Oh, wow.
Niccolo Paganini, who wrote
Yeah.
the Caprices for
Yeah.
violin. Alexander Dumas.
Oh, really?
Heinrich Heine.
Okay.
Heinrich Heine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe I've seen conflicting ones, but maybe Harriet Smithson, who's the woman he was
object
obsessed
of
with.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that would be funny because then it's like, yeah, I wrote this about you. Sorry.
Yeah. It seemed to work because after that, a couple years after that, they did get married.
Oh, good for him.
But only for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because she was Irish and never learned French, and he was French, never really learned English. And kind of had a fraught relationship, and
Yeah.
you know,
They
he had mistresses and whatnot.
Oh, well, that's not very cool of him.
Yeah, not very cool, but it did impress her in some way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Not enough to
enough to stick around.
actually communicate, but
Yeah.
it's kind of key. You should learn how to speak at least somewhat of the same language.
Right. Yeah. But it's super fun.
Yeah.
Especially knowing the story and having that in your head as you're listening to it. It just nails exactly what he's trying to capture.
Yeah, and it's like intentional that story's there. It's part of it, right?
Right.
Like, you're not just. It's not an interpretation in later years. It's what it was really meant to be. So,
yeah, like from the very beginning.
And that's neat to know that.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's a great piece for anyone who is like maybe a little skeptical of classical music or just doesn't get it. Which I understand.
Well,
it's all it's a lot of time commitment, if anything. And
to get into classical or to
just like sit through a symphony.
Yeah.
And to find out that you don't really like it, you've just spent an hour listening to something that you're like, actually, I didn't enjoy that.
Well, that's the funny thing about classical music, really, is that it's like we would go to concerts at ASU, and it gets to the point where for their orchestra, it gets to the point where they're just kind of doing the hits. Like if they were playing this, they'd pick the fourth or fifth movement.
Oh yeah,
and right. You're just it's almost like mixtape more than it is a performance, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it is. I mean, that's probably the easiest way to. One of the easier ways to get into classical music is to, oh, I'm going to the university because somebody we know is in the orchestra. They're, it's
Mhm.
a higher level than grade school was of performing, and so
Yeah.
you get introduced to it, and it's a little bit better introduction to it. And
Right.
they're trying a little bit harder, and so yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
It's great. I think it could win over anybody. It's a
Okay.
lot of fun, very weird. As long as you get a good recording of it where they
Yeah,
understand that it's weird. um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was glad that when I was in college, I got to play a couple of things that were my favorite. Like we got to play the planets, which was great, and we got to play Beethoven's Fifth.
Oh, cool.
Um, and our conductor was a very like traditionalist.
Yeah,
So Beethoven's Fifth is written a lot faster than most people play it.
right. Okay.
And he knew that, so we played it very fast.
I think you'd mentioned that's probably where I brought that up the first time. Is that
Yeah.
it's because of your explanation of that director. So
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Um,
That that's good. That well, I mean, it made an impression on you. This music, so
mhm.
that's good.
Yeah. That's all I have to say on that. Great piece. Fantastic symphony.
Yeah,
Symphonie Fantastique.
yes, I appreciate more now than I did. That like if you had mentioned about getting a good recording of it, I didn't I wouldn't have appreciated that as much a few months ago as
Mhm.
because I was looking for. Sometimes you get the impression that classical music is just it's going to be good regardless of the recording because it's classical music.
Yeah. Like they've
And
had hundreds of years to get it right.
right. And yet I was looking at first I was looking for recordings of the Messiah to listen to.
Oh yeah.
And I found the one that I grew up with,
Mhm.
and I think I had the impression even when I was younger when we listened to it, it's like I really don't like the tenor, like the first guy that sings solo, the first lady that sings solo. They're
Mhm.
okay, but they're not. It's not hitting. And
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
went and found a different recording. I was like, oh my gosh, this is way better. and
Yeah.
and just the voices were better. I think the voices in the recording I grew up with were what was thought to be good at a very distinct period in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
good. It was weird. And but then I was fascinated by I was listening to the Four Seasons
Mhm.
and had like a I had a thing on Spotify. It's like angry classical music,
Yeah.
and it's kind of trolling through these things. But it's Sock Perlman playing Winter,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, I hear this clip, and I have to find this, and it was him with the Jerusalem Symphony Orchestra or
Oh,
something.
okay. Yeah.
I grew up with him because he was on Sesame Street. Okay,
Yeah.
because and he'd come and like do this example because he has disabilities. He can't. His legs were
Mm.
going, and he couldn't walk. He had, two different, two walker things so he could walk.
Mhm.
And so they had this thing where it's this kid runs up on the stage and grabs her violin, and he has to use his walker things and get up on the stage. And he goes, it was very easy for you to run up, but some things that are easier for you are hard for me, but some things that are easy for me are hard for you. And she gets up and she's like with the violin, and he's like, you know?
Right.
But and so I knew he was known, but then
Yeah.
I heard that version, and him playing is insane.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just so like this is this is it.
Yeah.
um
It's so good.
so it's neat to see when it really that you can't it can be very different.
Yeah. Vivaldi is a very like, in a way, it's very like feminist in a way, because he
Okay.
wrote all of his music for all female orchestras.
Oh, really?
That's
That's
where
neat.
that's where he was working at some like all female academy. So
Oh.
all of his music was written for the women who could play that well. And it's not
Oh.
easy music, especially for
No.
the time. So like
No.
those are
It's
very
not.
competent players in a time when women were maybe not seen as competent players.
Right. Well, and I know it's funny to hear. Just speaking of how difficult it is, when I so Lauren, he played violin, played very
Yeah.
well, and I'd mentioned pieces of music, and he's like, "Oh, I hate Vivaldi." I'm like, "It's great." He goes, "Yeah, it's great, but I've had to play it before, and I hate it." And that was the whole thing. And then piano, he played piano, I played violin, and I was like, "Oh, Gershwin." He goes, "I hate Gershwin," and all of his hate for it was only because he'd have to play it. And
Right.
he's like, that thing is impossible to play.
Yeah.
Just so you know. And that was it. Wasn't that he didn't like the music, it's just
Mhm.
he hated playing it.
Right. Yeah.
So
I get it.
yeah. So
But yeah, I agree. A good performance can
yeah.
really change. Like, one thing is that sometimes I've noticed a few times, if there's like a 21 Pilots song that I don't really, that I
Yeah.
maybe like, but I don't love entirely. If I see
Right.
him do it live, it's like, okay, this is actually the greatest song
Yeah.
ever. Because they just do incredible
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
But the other thing was, have you seen that clip of Andrew Scott, who Moriarty?
Yeah. Yeah. I know
He's
this.
doing a reading of the To Be or Not to Be.
Oh no, I need to go see it.
It's incredible,
Okay.
and oh, I get what he's saying at this
Yeah.
point.
Yes. Yeah. That's it, when people. That's why I would. If anybody wants to be introduced to Shakespeare, I would suggest they watch a Kenneth Branagh movie version
Oh
of
yeah,
it, because it's done in such a way that you understand what they're saying.
yeah,
So that's my whole. That's context, presentation, whatever. That's like we went and saw the first. We went and saw the first Mission Impossible
oh yeah.
way back when it first came out in
Mhm.
at Cine Capri, which was this at the time. It was the biggest screen in Arizona for
Oh,
years, and it was curved, and it
oh,
was like a
yeah.
round theater, and the screen was curved, and it was huge
Whoa.
and massively tall, huge thing. I mean, the closest you get to IMAX before IMAX existed.
Yeah,
Anyway, we went and saw it, and I thought it was the best movie ever made. And then I
yeah.
watched it again. I was like, well, it's fun, but because of that theater, it was the
Right.
most amazing thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
So
Great.
yeah, so it's fun it's fun when it's fun when you get the right thing in the right environment. And well, good.
Well, thanks for listening, and
Yeah.
good conversation. Hope and
Yeah. As again, far reaching, I know, but
oh yeah,
you remind me of it's interesting, the things that randomly come up that tie into whatever we're talking about at the end of the week somehow.
yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun when you're aware, and maybe it's one feeds the other, but it seems to
Mhm.
keep working out, which I really appreciate. I really enjoy. So
Me too.
uh,
Yeah.
so this has been another week of Like Pigs in Space, our arts and culture podcast, and thanks for listening.
See ya.